Hey, this is Robert from Virtual Set FX, and today I'm going to show you how to use our sports/news studio background in your video editing project. This is, let me kind of play it through so you can see what we're going to make. We basically have these studios set up that you can use in your green screen video productions to add kind of a virtual background to it. We also have different production elements like this animated monitor and that kind of thing that come down. You can put footage or graphics or animations and that kind of thing in this little footage area. And then we have these kind of backgrounds that you can do different things with. The format of our backgrounds are QuickTime movie format, and so they can actually be used in just about any video editor that's on the market. So if you use Premiere Pro, like I'm using here, Premiere Elements, Sony Vegas, Movie Studio, Final Cut, Final Cut Express, any of those, After Effects, you can use our backgrounds in any of those production environments. So let me first start off by deleting everything that I've got here so that you can kind of see what it is that I've done. And so let me delete out those files first. And so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to import all of the studio backgrounds, so you can see that there. So these are all the video backgrounds. I'm just going to select them, drag them, and drop them into our area there. Delete that one. And in this studio, there's about 18 different backgrounds that you have to work from. I'll kind of put that there so you can kind of see. Some of them have animated monitors on the right or left. Some of them are just loops, let's see if I can find one there, where it's just a loop, and then you can add elements to it if you'd like to. Some of them have kind of a bigger green screen and smaller ones and that kind of thing to work with, which just allows you to kind of use them, as you need. This particular set can be used with either a full screen presenter, so you could have somebody who is, kind of virtually standing on background, or torso up type shot. It really works for both settings. So either one usually works pretty good. So for this first start of the tutorial, we're going to use this one right there. And so the first thing I'll do is click this animation and drag it onto our timeline here. You can just drop media into this area right there to start the sequence. You can also do File, New, Sequence to start a sequence in some of the older versions of Premiere. So there we have our studio background right there. And you can see that we got a little animated monitor that drops down and some different things going on in the background right there. And so the next thing that I'm going to do is import our footage of our talent who's been shot on a green screen. So let me just import that person so you can see there. And so we've got that. And then the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to import a just an animation graphic that's going to show up in this little monitor area right there. So let me import that last piece of footage so that we'll have everything into our project area here. So the way the layers is going to set up, we'll have 3 layers for this first one. We'll have the top layer, which will be our talent layer. The second layer will be our studio layer, so I'm going to drag that onto the studio layer there. And then the bottom layer will be our B-roll or footage animation layer that shows up in this monitor right there. And so let me click and drag our talent onto the talent layer, and then our background footage onto the B-roll layer right there. Okay, so first thing we need to do is to knock out the green screen in our talent shot right there. And so whatever video editor you're using, just apply a chroma key and then remove the green the way you normally would. In Premiere Pro, you come over to the effects window and you can go to video effects, keying, that kind of thing. I found that it's pretty fast and efficient to use this little search bar right there and just start typing in the word KEY for key, and it'll pull up all of your keying options. There's a bunch of different keying options in Premiere that get shipped with it, but I do like the Ultra Key keying plugin, so I'm going to click that plugin or that effect and apply it to our talent layer right there. And then in your effects controls window, what you'll do is you'll click this little eyedropper, come over to your screen or the green screen in your shot, click wherever the green is best, and then it will the computer or the software will knock out the green in your studio background once it gets done computing. You can adjust your settings to adjust the amount of green that gets taken out of the shot, that kind of thing. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with that, but there are some little drop downs that you can do where you have a relaxed key or an aggressive key. The aggressive one tends to work pretty good, it seems, and takes out a good bit of the green, but does a pretty good job of keying it out of the talent. The next thing that we're going to do is to take the green out of this monitor area right there. And so we'll do the exact same thing. We'll go to the effects controls or effects window, go to Ultra Key, drag and drop it onto your studio layer, and then use the eyedropper to click and select the green in that drop down monitor right there. And then that will knock out the green in our monitor, which will show through to our bottom B-roll layer right there. And so now we can select this B-roll breaking news animation right there, and we can scale it and position it so that it shows up in this monitor area. So we'll select it, go up to Effect Controls, Motion, we'll scale it down a bit, and then position it. Kind of where it needs to go, right in there. Another thing that you can do to make it a little better for your positioning and that kind of thing, if you want to kind of mimic this 3D effect, tilt effect, then you can apply a 3D effect to the layer. You just go to Effects, 3D, and then there is a type in 3D in the little search bar, and there is a basic 3D effect that you can apply to your footage. It shows up in your effects controls, and then you can kind of swivel the footage to make it match the angle a little better of that drop-down monitor. Like so. And so now if I play through, then you'll see that we have the animation come down, monitor comes down, fades to our B-roll layer, and got our talent layer on top there. Another question that we get a lot is, the animation is great, but I need it to be longer in my sequence than 20 seconds or whatever the video is. So if you go to here, you'll see that it goes, and the animation monitor goes out and that kind of thing. And so what we've done is for the animations that have animated monitors that come down, we've made them perfect loops between 3 seconds and 15 frames and 25 seconds and 15 frames. And so what I mean by that is if you go on your timeline, most timelines you can go to a specific time. So on this one we're going to go to 3 seconds and 15 frames right there. And that will be the start of our loop on the studio layer. And so what I'll do is I'll select that layer and slice it right where 315 is, and then we'll skip ahead to 25 seconds and 15 frames, and then slice it again right there. And so this center section right there is, I'll move this is where the animation pops back up. So we'll move that out. And this center section right here is now a perfect loop. And so I can copy that and paste it over and over again on my timeline. And now, let me copy this B-roll footage down there as well so it goes for a while. And so now where the two pieces of footage meet up, it's just a loop. So everything in the background and everything, all the text and all that stuff, everything loops perfectly, so that you can basically just keep duplicating that clip over and over and over again for as long as you want. So if you've got a 5-minute presentation, then you can have it be 5 minutes. If you've got a 45-minute presentation, then it can be 45 minutes. Either way is just fine. And then when you're ready for the animated monitor to come back up, then you can just take this last little piece right there, put it on the end, and then it will animate. Click there, hit play, and then it will play through and then get that last little bit, fade out, and go back up. So that's kind of the basic setup for this studio. Let me show you a couple of different layouts as well that might be interesting. If we've got this kind of more full screen layout right there, like that, and really the difference, we have a couple of different things on the for more of a news type production. This little scrolling text area says breaking news, and then we also have versions that say sports update and that kind of thing, so that you can use it for either situation. So we'll put this layer on our second layer right there for the studio layer, drag our person down, apply the Ultra Key plugin to our talent, and then apply it also to our studio layer, like that, and then bring our background down right there. And so you can see that it shows up, and you could have a different piece of animation show up here, maybe a logo or something like that might look really good right there, and this could be maybe a main graphic, or if it's a sports highlight or some sort of graphic or animation, then you could show it right there, and you can kind of scale it down and position it and whatnot. The other thing that you can do is after you've applied a green screen key to your person, if you need to move them around, you can always select that clip and then position them, in the scene, kind of wherever you need them to be. So you can move them around. The other thing that you can do is you can, if they don't have like text or that kind of thing on their shirt, then you can flip them horizontally, so that they go to the other side. So the way to do that would be to go to the effects controls or effects window, go to flip, do a little search for flip, and we'll say we'll do a horizontal flip on our talent layer, and now she's on the other side, and so then we can move her around if we need to, wherever we need, and then that way we could have like maybe the logo right there, and then a graphic or a video right there, and then that would play through. Pretty cool. Like that. The other thing that you can do is if you have a piece of footage, or if you have a talent person who is full screen from head to toe in the scene, and you want them to kind of look like they're walking on this this floor right here, then let me show you how you kind of do that. This is a piece of footage, piece of little stock footage that we've got with a full screen shot of a person there. And generally you wouldn't have 3 different versions, so I'm going to crop out these other 2 people there. So let me apply a cropping transform effect to this, so I can crop out just down to the one person that we're using, like that. And then I'll apply my key to that layer, select green, like that, and then I'm going to scale her up a little bit and position her over like so. And so now she kind of walks in and presents the presentation. So I hope this is helpful. Like I said, these backgrounds work in just about any video editor. So if your video editor handles green screen or chroma key, I know Pinnacle and Vegas and Movie Studio and a few of those, then you should be good to go. Anything that you can, any video editor that allows you to do green screen, that allows you to do layers and that kind of thing, then you should be fine to use these backgrounds in. The other thing is if if you want to do some color adjustments and that kind of thing to the backgrounds, then you can apply some color effects. So you could change the maybe the hue of the background. So you could apply a HLS color balance to the studio layer, and you can adjust the hue of the studio. So maybe you want to get some different colors and that kind of thing. Change it around a little bit, or change the saturation. Maybe you just want it to be, really subdued or something like that. You can kind of adjust the background a little bit to more meet your needs and that kind of thing. So hopefully this was very helpful. And if you have any questions, please visit us on our site at virtualseteffects.com. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks. Bye.